So get a load of this. The CFPB just brought back in Mark Calabria. Now, he's to be the head of the Office of Management and Budget, which is kind of interesting considering the CFPB just said that they don't want a budget at all from the Federal Reserve. Zero money operating, zero money requested, nothing. So one can only assume that Calabria was brought in to manage the existing money until that number gets down to zero. In effect, Calabria is being brought in to do officially away with the CFPB. Calabria's interim stint at the CFPB could be part of a much bigger role he will play at the OMB. It was also tweeted by Ackerman that he had heard that Calabria has been charged with bringing all the independent agencies into one collective agency where he will be running it. That, by the way, is a reference to Trump's executive order on Tuesday that seeks to rein in all the independent agencies under his more direct control. Like I said, guys, this one is going to be very interesting. What are your thoughts about it? Let me know in the comments down below, because some loan officers, they actually want the CFPB here, and some, well, like the idea of skirting around the edges. Where do you land? Donald Trump is planning to lay off at least 40% of the workers at the federal agency that provides mortgage insurance on loans for people who otherwise wouldn't qualify for one. This is according to a source that's very familiar with the agency. Which one is it? It's the FHA. As far as people who otherwise wouldn't get loans, listen, according to the St. Louis Federal Reserve, the average credit score for a borrower anywhere is north of 700 who has an FHA deal. The average credit score in general is at 674. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The average score for a purchase loan right now is 684, with the average score for a refinance at 646. So what does that tell you? It's really pretty simple. People's credit scores are going down, not up, when one would expect that to be the case. The reason is people are taxed out of their mind. They simply can't afford to live right now with our inflationary numbers. So what's the next step after our credit scores go down? Well, that one's also pretty simple too. Those laid off FHA workers are actually going to have something to do, and that's to pay out that FHA mortgage insurance for which they were fired from in the first place. I mean, since we have to laugh at it, and we kind of do, let's do this. Here's the values of sitcoms homes as if they were on the market today. Now, do you recognize all of them? Because I do. I think the one that I'd like to live in is the Brady Pad. But at $1.8 million, I gotta say it's a story, but not about my family. And lastly, still remember, the vast majority of your database is sitting on a down payment for a second home or an investment home. The second home does not need to be in a high-cost area. In fact, we've discussed this ad nauseum on the show, that the most affordable markets are the ones that are rising the most right now. It's the Buffaloes and Indianapolises of the world. So do yourself a favor, dust off that past client database, reach out to them and see if they want to make a move that's going to be fiscally in their best interest. I hope this helps.